okay that.
Okay, I'm gonna mute myself, but I'll hear you if you need something.
Okay, sounds good. And as usual with with these sessions, if anyone does have anything, someone can either throw it in chat or unmute and just ask away. So today we're going to be just chatting about, well, I call it creative lead gen. I'm going to start with talking about our sphere and making sure that we're working our sphere, but then follow that up with just some ideas, and if anybody has any other ideas, happy to share them. Just some things that I've either come across or used personally, just is to kind of get your mind going about creating new leads, and I think from everything I hear from at least our agents, it's we're kind of always looking for a lead. So and I'm quite frankly, I'm not a fan of paying for them. So I have a few ideas of options for paying for leads that I personally have used or use occasionally, and we'll talk about them. But just kind of the whole idea is what can we do with some work, in little or no money in some cases. So when I talk about working your sphere, so your sphere of influence, SOI, it really is everyone that you know. So when you look at your sphere, it is your friends, family, neighbors, coworkers, really anyone that you expect to reach out to if they have a real estate need, or even really hear from a friend of theirs as a referral. So, that's your sphere. So it could include past clients, but not really, just in general, not somebody a lead you just got yesterday, like, because they were still getting to know you. So when we talk about sphere, that's what we're talking about. And the idea is to write, to have them all in Excel spreadsheet. Obviously, we can take them into Moxie Engage. I don't know if we're doing a Moxie Engage session. I think we can certainly cover that. I have a few short videos that I'm in the process of doing for you guys as well, kind of working with Engage. But when we talk about the sphere, it's literally creating it. And I'm going to just kind of quick go through these stats and just kind of let you guys know, why the sphere should be our number one lead gen piece. And then again, I will cover some other options. So let me. Okay, so again, I'm going to throw out some numbers and then just kind of tell you what each one means. So 92%, it's the number of clients, it's the percentage of clients that say, well, they'll work with the same agent again. So that's a NAR stat, every deal done across the United States kind of thing. I mean, it's not just us, it's not just one company. It's, NAR in general, 92% say, hey, I'll work with the same agent. They did well, they took care of me, whatever. Another percentage that's out here, 63%, is the percent of agents that do not use a CRM. So basically don't have their sphere kind of put together and able to, consistently communicate with them. And we'll talk about that a lot, about being consistently communicating with it. So back kind of towards the first one, 11%. And now, if you haven't heard this stat, I talk about it a lot. And this is a Tom Ferry, this is a Jared James. Like, you will hear this stat over and over because it's probably the scariest one, or the one we should be most aware of. 11% of clients actually use the same agent. So we go from 92% saying, of course I'll use the same agent, in down to 11% that actually use the same agent. They didn't all of a sudden hate us, in the year or seven, whatever the time frame is that they forgot about us. But they could have met another agent. you know, or realized, oh, gee, I didn't know you were an agent kind of thing. But the majority of that 80% loss of business for us is because we don't consistently say hi to folks. We expect them to remember us instead of us just reminding them, hey, I'm still in real estate. I still want to be your agent. Can I help you with anything? So think about that in the that should be just enough to get us all to create create a database, create your sphere, and let us help you start working it. Another percent, 82% average SOI lead conversion rate. So the idea of having your sphere together, saying hi to them, is because if you say hi to them, they're going to say hi back. If they remember you, they trust you, they know you. Like, I don't need to like a lead I get tomorrow, today, I need to talk them into why they should work with me and how I can help them, and I should be their listing agent. Well, someone in your sphere that you're consistently saying hi to is just, they're the ones that just call you up and say, hey, we're thinking of doing something, not like, oh, gee, what homes have you sold recently and how do you market? And, so the idea of working our sphere is they convert much easier in a much higher rate. 1.6% average internet lead conversion rate. So again, I'm going to go back to the sphere. We're at a high percentage of our sphere, as long as they know us, remember us, and know we're still in real estate, convert at a higher rate. But if I get 100, and I just use this as an example, nothing against if you have Zillow leads or anything like that. But if you get 100 Zillow type leads, internet leads, you can expect the average to convert at 1.6%. 100 sphere leads convert much, much higher. So not that you don't want to work in internet lead, it just takes more work and they don't convert as often. 11, the number of times we need to say hi to a new lead. So if we farm an area, if we get a new lead from anywhere, basically it's going to take 11 times for us to say hi to them. Postcard, handwritten note, text, call, meet them, social, put a lot of them together. But basically, it's going to take on average 11 times for them to trust us. So if we're just trying to farm an area and we send one flyer, and we're like, oh, I got nothing from it. It was those types we need to figure out how to say hi to them. Again, on average, 11 times before someone's like, oh, you're an expert. I would trust you to list my house, that type of thing. 18 is the average number of months the average consumer takes to make the move. So saying that, when we get leads or we hear someone say, hey, I'm thinking of doing something, they could be somewhere along that 18-month period. So, it really relates to the 1.6 average lead conversion, internet lead conversion, because those are the folks that ask a question about a house, and they could be 18 months from making a move. Kind of think of it that way. Think of it as like, I asked a question about a house, like, I'm serious, but I'm 18 months out. So if you can say hi to me for 18 months and not get sick of me, and I may not respond, but it may take, and that's average. So it may take 2 years or, whatever. But again, if we do even though they might not be, considered our sphere, if we do put them in our database and set them up on a listing alert and maybe a newsletter of some sort, those are ways to stay in touch with them. Because if that person talks to 5 agents today and they're 18 months out, how many of those 5 agents are going to be around in 18 months? You have a chance to be the only one, because the other 4 aren't going to do their job, and they're going to be like, oh, that's a bad lead, and I'm not going to waste my time. Think about hanging with folks, because it's likely they're going to convert. It's just a matter of when. 6.2 is the average internet lead conversion when using a CRM. So I just talked about, taking your leads and every lead you get and in working them, but not getting annoyed. I have no interest in being frustrated over a lead that doesn't call me back, or when I do something, it's like, I don't hear back from them. Instead of thinking like that's a bad lead, that that's annoying, I'm not wasting my time anymore, we put them in our system, let the system do the job with email, like I said, with emails and listing alerts and things, and then just and then not waste our time, but try to hang on to them, so when they are ready, we're the agent they come find. I'm going to be in business in 18 months, in 2 years. So if I can have a tool help me, keep folks on the hook, for 2 months, I'll close a deal 2 years from now because I took an hour now and maybe an hour a month or whatever I take to keep saying hi to them, worth it. But, again, I know we don't want to just do this because we're bored, but if they're, if they're hanging on, then it's worth it for us to keep them engaged. Few more stats. I'll stop for questions, and then we'll kind of get into the kind of the other options we have for leads. So 15x more likely to convert a lead that knows you. So again, going back to the sphere, going back to folks in new leads can kind of come into that mix. If you say hi to them more than once, if you are showing them value. If you're sending them listing alerts and it's what they want and they just haven't found the right one yet, a new lead, an internet lead could come into that 15x. But again, it really bodes to your sphere. If they know you're in real estate and you expect them to remember you if they hear it, or if they're going to do something, that's where the 15x really comes into play. And then 11 to 12, it looks like that, but the number of agents someone knows. So like, I swear, like 3 or 4 years ago, I think that was like 5 to 6. So another reason for you to say hi to folks like that, like friends and family and neighbors, like, yes, I'm still in real estate. Even though it seems like I'm busy, I still, I'm still here for you if you need anything. But, when someone knows, I mean, if they knew 5 agents, that's 5 other people that, could get their business. That, it's just how it works. So again, if we are, hey, I'm here for you, that, conversation consistently, however you want to do it, better off for us, for them, for that person to pick us over the other, however many agents they know. And then I think this is the last stat, 100K, the number of agents gone since 2023. So interesting stat. I don't mind it at all. I don't mind getting rid of agents that, take that one deal from me because they happen to know someone and aren't, or aren't doing the job right, and, things like that. So those are the agents that weren't, that kind of came into it thinking, oh, this is, going to be a cakewalk. I put a sign in the yard, it sells, so not a horrible stat, but just a stat I like to kind of throw in there that, I don't want to be one of those gone. So I'm going to do whatever I can to whether it's lead gen and do my, work hard on my business to keep it growing. So, and then what this all comes down to is just an effective CRM process. So we have Moxie Engage. If, I talk to agents, some of our agents, they have an Excel spreadsheet, and that's how they just use the Excel spreadsheet and they do it well. Like, I don't care if you have another CRM that you're using, that's fine. But the idea is create the database. So, yeah, you have folks in the MLS, in your email, on your phone, in your phone, on social, you just look at your neighborhood, and, so you have all these folks from all over the place. What you want to do is start grabbing them. So, start with your phone or start somewhere, export, get name, phone, email, address if you have it, whatever info you can, and then go to the next source, and then go to the next source, and go to the next source, and build this sphere. If it takes you a month or two, if it takes you 3 months, do it. Spend an hour a day, 2 hours a week, whatever you want to on it. But the idea is, let's say in 3 months, I've gotten my, database. It's all in an Excel spreadsheet. I've maybe added some phone numbers or emails, kind of tweaked it. I'm pretty happy with it. I got 300 people on it. That's when we help you take it into Moxie Engage, and we figure out how you want to say hi to each one of them. And and it'll all be different. This person wants, I wanted to say hi to this person this way, and this person I want to be a little bit more aggressive with, but then sit back and know, well, if I have to say hi to these folks and these folks, let the system do half of the work, 3/4 of the work, whatever, and then takes it off our plate. We could literally wake up every morning going, oh, I sent 30 newsletters this morning and I didn't do anything. The system did it for me. That type of thought process. In the main idea behind the sphere and actually working the sphere is consistent communication. We are not, we have all, I have at least, walked up to someone and it was 5 minutes into the conversation when they either remember I sell real estate or maybe not remember, and they go, hey, we just bought a house, whatever. And I pause and they pause, and, but that's me. If I look back and go, well, man, I did this, I did this, I did this, and they went somewhere else. Oh, what am I going to do? But, I don't want it to be, well, I don't know the last time I said hi to them. I don't know the last time I reminded them I'm still in real estate. So I don't want that to happen. So, so think of that as, you can wake up once this is complete, and let's say it's Engage or wherever, you can wake up any single morning and your whole list is there, and you can say hi to any one of them or all of them in a second. So that's the idea behind this, creating the database and including your sphere, plus, any past clients, things like that. So we kind of went through this, the idea of just talking about Engage, just because it's our tool. I can put 300 people in Engage if they're in a spreadsheet in minutes. Nothing gets sent from Engage. They're not automatically put on annoying email campaigns, things like that. We add them in, and then we essentially go one by one to figure out, hey, how do I want to talk? How do I know you? How do I want to talk to you? Set it up and then move on to the next one. And then when it's done, we're actually in good shape to to stay in touch with that person consistently from that point on. So before I get into, sort of these other ideas, again, just different tools and things for lead gen, I'm going to just pause for a minute. Does anyone have any thoughts or questions on those stats? Hopefully, at least if you don't have a sphere, hopefully that'll trigger you to start that process. If you do have a sphere somewhere in a spreadsheet, it's never bad to go back to it and tweak it and see who you need to add to it and things like that. But I'm going to just pause for a second. You guys, anybody have any questions? You guys good to go? All right.
No questions.
Okay, cool. Just wanted to make sure. So some other ideas, just regarding lead gen. In the first one, we actually talked about on our last session, is text ERA. So going to reiterate, #1 lead gen for all of ERA continues to be just a high, a high lead gen percent, opportunity. So just remember it's there. remember if you have a listing, there's a code, that's attached to it, and you can use it on a sign rider, in social. You can use the flyers in the home kits in TextDRA at open houses. So in that session, if someone missed it, was recorded, and I think the link is sent out. I'm sure Ashley could get it to you, but during that time where we talked about TextDRA, you might want to rewatch that. But TextDRA, just a great opportunity for lead gen. And if you use the codes in the open house flyers and things like that, besides the cost of the sign rider, if you choose to do that, zero cost. So, just kind of want to remind everyone that that's there. And there are other opportunities to use TextDRA other than just that sign rider. So there's a program called Listings to Leads. We actually use it in our brokerage. But it really involves Google ads or even Facebook ads. So think about, you can just, you can go to Google or Facebook and boost an ad, if you have a new listing or an open house or, anything you want to, something about you, whatever you want to boost, sold listings, things like that. You can boost an ad on your business Facebook page, for instance. Spend, whatever, $50, $100. And what that does is, puts your ad. So if you go to Facebook and see a sponsored, something that's sponsored, that's an ad that someone paid for. So, if, just a quick, I'm sure you guys know this, but, if I go to Facebook and post my open house for this weekend, it's in the post, in the feed, and then just gets buried because, well, guess what? You got 300 friends or whatever and all the other stuff, and then, it gets buried. So like, how many people actually see it? Well, if you boost an ad, it stays at the top, so someone will likely see it multiple times, more people will see it, and then there's obviously a lead gen opportunity at that point as well. And you can have, our listings leads platform, we can have landing pages and pamphlets on there and things like that. So it's pretty cool. But kind of the same thing with a Google ad or a Facebook ad. Just direct mail, obviously, listings, leads, or Google ads, there's a cost, but that goes to Facebook or Google or whatever, but, so there is a cost to it, but, it's just an option. Same thing with direct mail. Obviously, if you mail something, it's going to cost you a few bucks, but, just determine, if it's valuable. So and remember that, so this is an Alex thing, President Alex, he says, hey, if I list a property 123 Main Street, and send it just listed, the whole neighborhood sees it. Okay, great. If I sell it, send it just sold, the whole neighborhood sees it. Well, going back to the point, that those folks don't know me. So I've touched base with them twice, but I really need to touch base with them about 11 times for them to kind of remember me and think, oh, yes, that's right. Wayne, he sold the house next door, but he also, sent us 9 other things, whatever. So, Alex will basically say like, well, if you don't list another house in that neighborhood for 7 months, like, they're not going to remember that you sent them 2 postcards 7 months ago. So just think about, if you want to do it, and there's nothing bad. Like, I'm sure you got, I'm sure someone in the office, I have, got lucky and got another listing from a just listed, just sold. But, again, just think about, instead of just, if you're just doing it like, well, I've always done it, it's just, I would just say, stop and think about it. Like, hey, have I ever gotten a lead from that? Is it helping, or is there something else I can do? So same thing with farming. You know, if I'm going to farm a neighborhood, you know, man, if I grab, you know, I love the idea. I'm going to grab 500 homes. Well, 500 homes, you know, at let's say $1 a piece, that's $500, but I really need to do it 10 or 11 times. That's 5,000. You know, I mean, one listing might, you know, might cover it, but you know, just stop and realize that our one-off mailings, you know, we might just want to look at that and see if it's something we're definitely interested in doing.
Hey, Wayne,
Yes.
do you know what I know there are some websites that you can set up that'll send out that like will do a lot of the work for you as far as like you input the info, but then it mails them to a particular neighborhood, or do
Yeah.
you know any of those?
Yes. So in Moxie, and we have a few, really a few options, really even in Video Buzz, which is another session we're doing. But let's say Moxie, if we go into Moxie Impress, if I have a listing, you know, it's attached to Moxie, my listing's sitting there. I can do flyers, postcards, social posts. And if I, you know, flyer, whatever I want to do in there, if I, let's say I wanted to do a flyer or a postcard, it's actually connected to Express Docs. So ERA has a partnership with Express Docs. So you can actually, the postcard sitting there, tweak it, whatever, if you want. Otherwise, you know, it kind of pulls the picture and pulls the description, puts it together. You can tweak it if you want, but otherwise, in a few clicks, you can have a postcard, you know, take it right into Express Docs and pick an address and say 100 homes around it. You can upload your own database if you want. But Express Docs is, I mean, there are others, but Express Docs is one that we have a partnership with. So I think the pricing is, you know, like ERA pricing. So definitely would look at that before I went elsewhere.
Sweet, thanks.
Yeah, absolutely. And just another side note, you know, if you did a sort of a postcard series type or a flyer, you know, something in a series, you can actually schedule that as well. So with Express Docs. So, you know, if you have 6 postcards created, you know, and wanted to, you know, email them every 2 months for 6 months, like you can do it once, have it all set up, and they bill you when the first one goes out, and the day of, or when, you know, day before, whatever, you know, they'll bill you for the second one and then bill you all year long, but yet each one goes out. So just you know, something that might be of interest as you can schedule stuff. So talking about your online presence. So this is a conversation I have with, you know, our agents as much as possible, but a conversation I have with every new agent that we get is one of the first things I tell them, and we should all look at it. We should all look at our online presence. So, you know, Google yourself. You know, sometimes, you know, maybe you were with another brokerage, or you weren't, you know, you were doing something else before real estate, and, you know, not a bad thing. But if you Google yourself, what's it say? What, you know, what's it say? Plain and simple, because NAR says that about above 70% of folks that get our name Google us. So, you know, hey, if I walked up to someone and said, oh man, you know, Ashley's you know, she's great, she helped me buy my house, you know, you're going to love her. That person is, you know, 75% of the time going to go home and Google you before just saying, oh, you know, yeah. So what we want a page of like, man, Ashley's a real estate agent, like plain and simple. So ERA will come up first all the time, which is great. It should. You know, kind of like your contact page, and it'll lead you to your Moxie website. But you can create free profiles on Zillow. Those are just some of the ones that you can. Zillow, Realtor, Yelp, Angie, which is like Angie's List. You know, referral. I mean, there's so many that you can, you know, create a free profile. Well, I don't know about everyone, but probably most of them are going to be like, oh, do you want to upgrade or this or that? And if you say no, you know, you can have just profiles all over, in 6 to 8 weeks, Google kind of realizes like, oh, you're on Zillow, oh, you're on Realtor, you're on Yelp, and kind of pulls them all together and puts them under you. So same headshot all the way across in the same biography, copy and paste. And then like, hey, I sell in Gillette, or whatever other info you can add to it. But same headshot, same biography for every profile. Google will realize that. It'll start matching them all up, and talk about where you sell real estate over and over, like Gillette, 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 because that's a good thing for SEO and stuff. But so two things with that piece. Google yourself, just kind of see what it looks like. If you have a Zillow profile and haven't looked at it, or your Google profile, is your phone number right? Is your address, just make sure those are right. Second thing to do is just Google real estate agent in Gillette, or real estate agent near me, something like that, and see what comes up. Well, what's going to come up is, well, Zillow and Realtor will be first because they pay a bunch of money to be there. But just go 3 or 4 pages deep scrolling down, and you'll see that Yelp will be there, and Angie, and there'll be some other websites and platforms that, obviously, if you saw I'm not sure who your competitors are, but if you saw a Century 21 there, well, I can't create a profile in Century 21, because I'm not an agent there. But there are, Zillow, Realtor, Yelp, Angie, they're all just real estate platforms, and I'm able to create a profile on those. So, so Google yourself, see what you need to do, and then Google real estate agent near me and make this list. I need to do a Zillow, I need to do an Angie, oh, I have a Realtor, but I don't have a Yelp, and then just go down the list and create 5, 10, 15 of them, and then just work on them. And again, 8 weeks from now, or 8 weeks from whenever you finish it, Google's going to start putting them up. They start, but they verify and go through 6 weeks of research and analytics. But yet, think about 8 weeks from now, someone Googles you, and it's you all the way down through, and everyone says, oh man, you're a real estate agent, and your headshot's there, and your biography's there. Just good stuff for your future. Open houses. So I think you guys are doing them, or at least in general. I follow ERA Priority and quite a few of the agents, so I see them. But I just put it in there because they sort of went off the radar, especially in the last 2 years, because things were selling quicker. Like, you almost didn't have time for an open house. But Jared James, Tom Ferry, they're saying like, hey, look, they're coming back, so just think about them. If you don't have a listing, maybe someone in the office, has 3 listings and can't do 3 open houses. So, maybe ask them, hey, would you mind if I did an open house? Zero money, some 2 hours of your time, and maybe you get a lead or 2, or however many come through, and can kind of build your lead base that way. So just an option there. Social media. So, I talk to an agent every day that says, that I know is heavy on social, and one that says, I despise Facebook, I don't even want to get on it. We have to find the middle ground. We have to figure out, how we can be on social without it, annoying us or taking over our life. But social media is just a great way to tell people you sell real estate, and remind them. So we can set up in Video Buzz, in the ERA marketing in Leverage. We're going to do a session on it, but there are tons and tons of pieces on social that are ready to just post, that someone's going to look at it and go, oh, that's right, Ashley's a real estate agent, and then just move on. They're not annoying, they're not, but just another way for folks to see us and remember what we do. So consider social media I remember when I first got licensed, I was told over and over, like, just, like people, it annoys me when people say, oh, I got a new listing. Oh, I sold the listing. Oh, I haven't opened it. And that's all that's in their, that's all they're on their Facebook feed is just listing, 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 listing. Well, you can, get on social and, say, hey, man, I love that. I love what I do. I love helping people buy a house. Let me know if I can help you, or even leave that off. And I'm going to see it. I'm not going to be annoyed. I'm going to go, oh, that's right. Ashley sells real estate. Great. I love that she loves her job. So now we can come up with ways to remind folks what we do on social without it having to be, here's a new listing, here's a new listing. So your website, I mentioned it. If you Google yourself, your ERA, contact page link to your website is going to be on there. We did this session. I don't know. I think it was our second one with the Moxie website. Super, super important. Traffic to ERA.com is rising. Leads from it are rising. They're going to get to our websites when they actually want to look at a house. So get in there to your website, same picture, same biography, update a few things so that when they find that, they can see you, they can learn a bit about you, they can look for a house. But if they bolt, we'll lose them, they won't come back. But website, no money, just some time to get it up and running. HomeBot, it's a platform that I use. There is a cost to it. I pay $25 a month. What it does is I have, I don't know, 80 right now. I think I have 80 people in it. So I have their name, email, and their address, and it sends them a monthly email on the value of their house. It's scary accurate. Most of the time. And if it's not, it's great because they reach out and say, is this true? Like, what are you thinking? Or what? So that ends up being an interaction. But the email is great. It not only throws a value on it, it kind of tells me why. It gives me options for maybe refinancing. It's really a great platform. $25 a month. The emails just go out. I get a report that says who opened it, if they clicked through it, if they clicked through it 2 or 3 times, things like that. They can message me right through the platform. So it's pretty cool. 0 unsubscribe rate, and my open rate is about 82%. So I get about 82% of my people that open the email every single month. So just worth a shot. If you Google HomeBot, it's a weird URL. I think it's like maybe homebot.ai or something. But just kind of wanted to throw it out there. There is a cost. It's only $25 for up to maybe 500 people. So, name, email, address is all you need. And the email just goes out to them. And then you get it, like I said, you get an email each month that just gives you your top folks and who's clicking. And so just a thought, but just kind of wanted to throw that one out there. FSBO expireds. So, expireds, I don't quite know, how crazy your market got and really what the inventory is, but just know that expireds maybe are starting to come back around. I think maybe the FSBOs are falling off a little bit because it was easy to sell for a little while. So everyone was like, why bother? I can do it myself. But FSBOs are out there. So many avenues to find FSBOs. I'm going to quick look. I don't know if we're doing a session. We are not going to do a session, at least for this round, but so many FSBO opportunities, for sale by owner, fsbo.com. You can find ready to sell or FSBOs on Zillow. So just lots of avenues. If you're just kind of that type that likes to play around, hop on the internet and spend an hour and just see if you can get an address or two that are selling themselves. Maybe even, obviously, if you have a buyer, kind of look for that. So just some ideas with FSBO expireds. If you are seeing expireds, but also think about, with just a little bit of homework, looking for expireds from a year ago or 18 months ago. So I would do a search in the MLS, see what expired. I would actually just pull that address and do a search to see if it was relisted or sold, because I don't want to reach out to them and look like a fool if it got relisted or sold. But so pull the expireds and then just see, like, there are a lot of people that expired and just said, you know what, I'm going to wait. And it's just an idea that they're still out there, so it might be worth it to grab a few addresses and touch base, see what they're thinking, see if they're interested in potentially selling at this point or in the future. So just referrals in general, in your value prop. So the referrals, we all know that our friends and family, if they know we sell real estate, our past clients refer us out. So another reason to make sure they know, hey, I'm still here. Yes, I want referrals, that type of thing. Just value propping yourself. Be prepared to show your value. Your website's up and running. If someone Googles you, your online presence is all there. Obviously all the tools and things that you have with ERA Priority, just make sure that. Make sure that you're ready to show your value. And then that can just, you work well with one person, that can be, one more lead or 10 more leads, depending on how that person is set up and who they might know. But just know, if you do one deal right, the referrals obviously will have potential to be there for, as long as you're a real estate agent. So yeah, so I just put this in, don't feel you need to pay, but if you are thinking like just a little something else, or hey, I don't mind that, and this is kind of why I use a few of these. So I don't know if you guys have Opcity, but it's a platform through realtor.com. So they actually have generate leads, and then we'll just call you, and they actually have a person on the other line. There is a referral fee, but there's no cost up front. So I don't have to pay $500 a month and hope if I get a lead and get to closing, yep, I pay a referral fee, but I didn't, I made money on it. I didn't have to pay it up front. So I'm not a big fan of paying up front. Sold.com, actually kind of through realtor.com. I think they might own it, but sold.com, same thing. And if you actually choose to pay for a zip code, just kind of check out like Google Tom Ferry and check out his website, or attend one of his sessions. He'll do a free session for sold.com and then offer a zip code for $50 a month. So so it's just an idea. I signed up, so I get I don't know, a couple leads a month. I'm not paying right now. I'm actually considering getting 1 or 2 zip codes, for the $50 a month, because I'm seeing other activity by agents through them. So might be just something you want to check out. Referral Exchange, and I'm actually going to do this one as well, HomeLight. So these two are platforms you can create a profile for free, first of all, so that you can kind of build your online presence. But they actually will offer leads to you, based on where you work. And there is a referral fee. Again, it's kind of the same as the rest, no upfront fee. So, so just two options to, HomeLight is more buyers. In Referral Exchange, I get more listing leads from. So, and again, depending on your market, but I just kind of wanted to throw some ideas out there. If you ever have an opportunity to, get a lead and have to pay a referral, I'll do that every day of the week. So, I mean, I'm not gonna pay 50% referral, but if it's the 25, 30, I'll take that lead. I'm not paying a dime. If they close, then I pay it. So that's just kind of my thought process, but, obviously totally up to you guys, but wanted to sort of just make sure you knew some ideas of things like that. If you Google real estate leads, my goodness, there are so many, there are pages and pages of it, different setups, different cost structures, whatever. But you know, not bad to at least check it out if you're looking for leads or curious about leads. You know, just if you sign up, just be careful. You know, if they're going to make you sign up some sort of contract, you know, just make sure you know what you're signing if you do that. But that is what I wanted to cover today. Anybody have any questions? Hopefully it was valuable to kind of get our minds going of in that lead direction. But any questions?
I just have one. I just wondered if, since you kind of are in this world, have your pulse on it more, if you've heard any for social media, if Facebook is still kind of the most effective way of marketing, or if it's gone more towards like Instagram or TikTok, or
You know, there's not a front runner per se. I mean, Facebook has the most bodies, period. Like the most, like whatever you call it, subscribers, members, plain and simple. You know, like because some people don't do, you know, but like you know, if you're on social, and I kind of put it in quotes, everybody does Facebook, at least has an account, you know, type of thing. So
right.
that field is just bigger. But you know, not to, you know, it's not an age thing always, but you know, younger folks, they're on Instagram more or TikTok, you know. So I think it's what you're comfortable with. And if you're gonna do social, you just got to do it consistently. So, you know, you can't post once on a business Facebook page and think that you made a difference. You know, you just got to figure out how to do it consistently, you know, schedule things to be posted, you know, whatever. I will say when you do the ads, you know, if you decide to, you know, kind of boost an ad, really, from what I hear, especially we're friends with the folks that own Listings to Leads, so you know they know kind of what's going on. They say that Google ads are just better for lead. You know, I guess produce better leads. So
Okay.
so just something to think about there. But the cost is higher. But you know they say that Google ads you know produce better leads. So not that that's, you know, we got a guy that does, you know, Listings to Leads, Facebook, you know, ads and does very well when he posts something. So you know, so it's not a given, but I think the main thing is you know, if you're gonna do one, just do it consistently. If you're gonna tackle one, do it consistently, but also make sure you kind of like what you do. You know, I mean, if you're going to get into TikTok, get into TikTok, you know. So you know, not a bad thing. But you know, just kind of do it, but do it right.
Okay. Perfect. Oh, yes.
It's off this topic, but I have, reviews on Video Buzz, but I don't know how to get to them.
Did you
Yeah.
hear that?
Yeah, so you just want to know how to get to them in Video Buzz?
Yes, sir, I haven't seen them.
Okay.
I have an email that says it, but there's nothing to click on the email to go to it.
So those would be the ERA customer satisfaction surveys. I'm gonna,
Reputation management.
yeah, so yep. So let me
Yeah. Over here, I should say reputation management.
I'm gonna log in real quick and just kind of show you guys where that is. But that, yeah, whoever said that's correct, the reputation management. We are doing a Video Buzz session early
Here in a couple weeks here.
yeah, early September, but let me
Yep. September 5th.
let me share this real quick.
I know, I see you, even in your office. You're in your-
Mhm.
Okay, so yeah, so here's leverage.
I don't know what.
And if you go to agent tools and then scroll down to reputation management, the thing with Video Buzz is that they're designed so you can actually automate it in Video Buzz so that when you get a listing or a survey back, it automatically posts to your social. And we'll talk about this more when we do the session, but they will only, it's great. They will only post the 5-star reviews. So if because everyone's like, oh my gosh, what if they, what if someone crazily did a 1-star or something, like they will not post those. So, and we'll show you how to do it when we get in that. But you'll be able to, you can set up your Video Buzz to post your customer satisfaction surveys automatically.
I know.
But this is this reputation management is kind of where they're housed. You can see when one was sent, if it was filled out, resend it if you want to. So I have all of our companies here.
Hold on here, Wayne, real quick.
Sure.
Okay, so you're in. And then where's the?
Okay, so we're at where you're at,
Oh, but of mine.
and then
Yeah, so just kind of make sure make sure there isn't a, all these you can kind of, just do buyers, sellers type thing. So if everything's just all here, and let's say you did, if the default is this year to date, or this one's through 7/11. I think that's when I ran the last report. So I could, put it out till today, and then, just hit search and your
So
surveys
Okay,
will be here.
found 'em.
you can even go in and resend them if they didn't fill one out.
Yes. So let me just find one that we just have some that were from earlier that we had an issue with. So basically none of these were sent, but let me just.
Okay, so then we're clicking or double clicking on the name of ones that say are filled out, but nothing's coming up. Any thoughts on?
Oh, it just takes.
Oh, it just took a minute.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, and this is taking a second to load because these were sent, but so yeah, I'll just pull up one agent that I know.
It's completed on, so those are the ones that you've actually gotten.
So you'll just see here, our agent Robin has, 3 of them that were sent. None of them were completed. So if I click on the pencil next to Brett, I can change the email if I want. If he, typically what I would do, because they didn't fill it out the first time, typically what I would do would be I'd want to reach out to them. So I'd text Brett, and go, hey, however you want to sell it. I would be like, hey, I'm really trying to build my online presence. I know you're busy. I would love it if you would take a few minutes and fill out this survey for me. Something to get them, or so that they know it's coming. Because if they didn't fill it out the first time, what's likely if I just randomly email it to them. But if he, I could say, hey, can I verify your email? Verify it, and then just hit this resend, and it'll go back out to them. And ideally they are looking for it. Just know that these are sent out automatically when you close a deal. So it's not in my opinion, not a bad thing to have that conversation as you're closing. Hey, just in the next few days, you'll get a survey link from me. I'm working hard to build, or, whatever, however you got to kind of pull the heartstrings and get them to take the, 5 or 10 minutes that it does take to fill out, to actually get it back. But then, they're here, they're here, you'll be able to read it. But the idea is in Video Buzz, we can set it up that, as soon as that comes in, if it's 5 stars, gets posted right to your social. Yet another way for you to, you know, to be posting consistently, and this one would just happen automatically. And of course, it raves that, you know, another 5-star review type thing.
And then if I remember right, you can change the survey, right, to, like, you can change it to say what you want it to say, or, I mean,
No, this one's automatically,
oh, okay.
yeah, this one's just automatically sent from ERA.
But does it ask the same questions that our paper one does?
No. That's different.
How is it?
It's longer.
Like,
It's longer?
So-
This one is?
You can
Yeah,
actually see
it is a longer survey, so that's why I'm asking a favor. So, and I'm just telling you, when you sort of ask that, when you ask it like that, and you kind of pull that little heartstring that you really need it, and it's going to help your business, you know, folks just do it. You know, are they thrilled? Like, oh my God, you know, but folks will, you know, likely be more apt to do it for you, even though it's, you know, a longer survey, that kind of thing.
So it asks the satisfactory, with me, the company, specific, like, if they want to write a statement about you, then would they refer a family member or friend? And then which of the following are important, so they want to gather information about like what they're into. It's like
I
2 or
would
3
almost rather
pages.
see us go towards these than the paper ones.
Well,
These
I think
go
the
out
paper
and
ones are
actually-
in-house and these are like ERA wide.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
I like both.
So like this right here, these
but
are all the
this-
transactions that it's, I've done this year. These are all the people it's sent to, and then I can see there's only been 5 out of the 23 that have been completed on them.
But I think at closing, you have agents that say like, hey, you're gonna get a survey in the mail,
Mhm.
fill it out and get it back. I just would almost rather, personally, I'd rather see us push.
I think we honestly get more of the ones
This?
that we actually send in the mail back than these.
Yeah.
And they write, like, they will write things about
Mhm.
me in the one from us,
Yep.
where I've never had anyone
'Cause-
write anything personally about me.
I have, it just depends on the person. It really does.
But if we push this one more, I just wonder if people would fill it out.
I think people hesitate to, because I think they have to log into
That's true.
ERA.com on this one, I
That's
think.
true.
Or in this, that's the income and that.
Uh-huh, and they don't have to answer that stuff, they can leave that blank,
yeah.
but yeah, it does.
I just asking people to fill out multiple surveys about you.
Yeah.
I'd rather do one online than like sit and write out.
Depends on your clients.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I think, yeah, I think if you send them both ways, you're gonna get a chance of getting one or the other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or none, because if they're not gonna do it.
Throw
they're
that
not
away.
gonna do it.
Hey Wayne,
Yeah,
is there any way to send these to people that haven't closed with you but absolutely love you? Or is
no,
just be closed transactions?
yeah, just close transactions.
That sucks.
Well,
Yeah.
how do you need somebody to write that?
Well, I mean,
So-
I've got people that were gonna move down here from Miles City, Montana. She sent a card to me last week saying that they decided to stay there because of family members, but she wanted to figure out how to do a review for me on ERA.com. I don't know, 'cause that's how they found me.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to be able to with the Zap platform. If you remember, we used to be able to just send a link to anyone and they would come to the Zap platform. But I will tell you, if I have someone like that, I am sending them a Zillow link or a realtor.com link or a Yelp link. Like, I'm going to send them. Yeah, because when I say create a profile on Zillow or Realtor and things, but you know, what I didn't say and what I probably should have is you want reviews on all those sites. So sometimes it's like, hey, I'm going to be a pain, but I'm going to send you this ERA survey. That means a lot to my brokerage and things, but I'm also just going to send you this link for Zillow. And then the next person, maybe it's the ERA and in realtor.com, and just the best you can. It's, you know, build it. But if a year from now you have 5 Zillows and 5 realtors and 20 ERAs, you know, whatever that is, all those are building up slowly but surely. So, you know, there's none of them share. So everyone says, oh, is there one link? You know, Zillow's not going to like post a link or post a review for realtors. So unfortunately, it's just the way it is. They're all separate. but I would want, or I want as many reviews as I can all over the place. Because guess who loves reviews? Google SEO. It'll come to the top. You'll come to the top. So without paying, just by saying, you have stars and 5 stars and you got 5 reviews, or if you got 12 reviews, it matters to the folks we work with. They pay attention to it. They look at them. So the idea is building those other platforms up, just one at a time. And if you have one person that'll go to town, give them all the links, whatever. But the idea is that, and sometimes I'll copy what they said. So if I did get the ERA survey back, I can copy the verbiage they said, email it to them and say, hey, here's a link for Zillow. Here's what you typed when, or whatever, when you did the ERA one. So you can just copy and paste this right into the Zillow one. That, and just, anything I can do to kind of help them. But in reality, I need, or it's just our world, it's very beneficial for us to have, reviews in multiple locations.
If you guys didn't know, the reviews that we get from like the paper ones, you can manually input them into your Moxie website.
Mhm.
I had Danny do, 300 of them, I think. In there, well, over a period of time.
Wayne, I just have one more question, which
Sure.
on our YouTube, since you've been uploading the trainings, there's 2 on there, the unlocking success with leverage and the boosting your business. The Moxie power play,
Oh,
what happened with that one? Do we?
I think I'll double check. I think I may have it should be on there. I should still have it. So,
Okay.
I'm gonna just make myself a note. I'll make sure that I find that, and if I didn't do the YouTube thing at that point, I think I may have done it in my YouTube.
I feel like, yeah, we put it somewhere and then it was after that we were like, hey, let's put,
Yeah.
well, that you were like, hey, let's put it in here.
Yeah.
So,
I can re-upload it and make sure it's on the channel, and everything will be moving forward.
sweet. Okay, and then access to our back office, you still needed that, right?
Oh, yes.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm gonna be gone the rest of this week till Tuesday. So if maybe
good for you.
we kind of plan, well, I'm going down to visit the hurricane or whatever's left of whatever's left of Debbie on the East Coast. So I'm praying I even get there. So
Yeah,
but yeah, I'll touch base. I'll make a note and let's touch base on Wednesday. And I'll
Okay.
just get that access and we'll be good to go.
perfect. Yeah, remind me or touch base with me because I'll probably forget. And so but
I wrote it down,
Remind
otherwise
me.
I'd forget too. So
yeah, yep. Okay, sweet.
Awesome. All
Otherwise,
right, well,
then we'll see you
yeah.
on August 22nd.
Awesome. Sounds great. We'll see you then.
Thank you.
You're
Bye.
welcome. Take care, everyone.